Darrem Charles was born on July 22, 1969, in the Caribbean nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Like many professional bodybuilders, his journey to fame and success began with a humble background and a burning desire to transform his body. Growing up in a country where sports like cricket and soccer dominate, Charles initially had a natural inclination towards athletic activities. However, his fascination with bodybuilding came later, when he moved to the United States at the age of 18. In the United States, Darrem became captivated by the bodybuilding culture that was gaining momentum during the 1980s and early 1990s. Icons like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, and others were dominating the sport, and Charles was inspired by their dedication and physiques. The idea of sculpting his body to perfection fascinated him, and soon, his journey to become a professional bodybuilder began. Despite the challenges of moving to a new country and adjusting to a different culture, Charles remained focused on his goal. He began training with discipline and sought guidance from seasoned athletes who had more experience in bodybuilding. His early days were characterized by intense training sessions in local gyms, experimenting with diet, and refining his understanding of bodybuilding science. Bodybuilding career beginnings. Darrem Charles' bodybuilding journey officially began when he decided to compete at the amateur level. His genetic potential was apparent from the beginning, with a well-proportioned physique that allowed him to make rapid progress. However, it wasn't just genetics that propelled him forward. It was his work ethic, consistency, and attention to detail that helped him stand out. In 1989, Charles entered his first competition, and although he didn't win, he realized that this was the path he wanted to pursue. He spent the next few years refining his physique, focusing on specific areas that needed improvement, and learning the nuances of bodybuilding competition. By the early 1990s, Darrem had started to gain recognition at various amateur bodybuilding events. He made his mark at local and regional shows, impressing both judges and audiences with his symmetry, muscle density, and stage presence. His dedication paid off when he won the Trinidad and Tobago Championships in 1992, a victory that solidified his status as a rising star in the bodybuilding world. After this win, Charles set his sights on the international stage. He knew that to truly succeed, he would have to compete against the best in the world. Thus, he began preparing for bigger competitions, focusing on improving his conditioning, posing routines, and overall package. Darrem Charles earned his IFBB, International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Pro card in 1995, a significant milestone in his career. This achievement allowed him to compete in the most prestigious bodybuilding competitions around the world, including the renowned Mr. Olympia competition. The transition from amateur to professional bodybuilding was a challenge, but Charles was well prepared. As a professional, Charles became known for his aesthetic physique, which contrasted with the growing trend of mass monsters who dominated the 1990s bodybuilding scene. While many competitors focused on sheer size, Charles maintained a classic, balanced look that was reminiscent of bodybuilders from the golden era, like Frank Zane and Serge Nubret. His physique was characterized by a narrow waist, wide shoulders, full muscle bellies, and impeccable symmetry. This aesthetic appeal, combined with his charismatic posing routines, made him a favorite among fans and judges alike. His ability to perform entertaining and engaging posing routines helped set him apart from many of his peers, making him a standout on the bodybuilding stage. Rise to prominence. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, Darrem Charles built a solid reputation as one of the most consistent and aesthetically pleasing competitors in the sport. He competed in numerous IFBB events, consistently placing in the top ranks. Some of his notable achievements during this period include victories at the Night of Champions, Grand Prix events, and other prestigious contests. One of the highlights of Charles' career came in 2002 when he won the Night of Champions, a major bodybuilding competition that attracted top-tier talent from around the world. This victory was a testament to his hard work and dedication, and it solidified his place among the elite bodybuilders of his era. Charles was also a regular competitor at the Mr. Olympia competition, the most prestigious event in bodybuilding. Although he never won the Mr. Olympia title, he consistently placed in the top ranks, earning respect from both his peers and fans. His best finish at the Olympia came in 2004 when he placed 7th, competing against some of the biggest names in the sport, including Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler. Throughout his career, Darrem Charles competed in and won numerous bodybuilding competitions. Some of his most notable victories include 2002 Night of Champions. This win was one of the most significant victories of Charles' career. The Night of Champions was a prestigious event, and winning it put Charles on the map as one of the top bodybuilders in the world. 2004 Toronto Pro, another important win for Charles. The Toronto Pro showcased his ability to compete at a high level against some of the best bodybuilders in the world. 2005 Southwest Pro. Charles continued to rack up victories in the mid-2000s, and the Southwest Pro was another feather in his cap. Darrem Charles' career spanned a period in bodybuilding that saw significant changes in the sport. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, the mass monster era took hold, with bodybuilders like Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler dominating the scene with their incredible size and density. These athletes pushed the boundaries of what was considered possible in terms of muscle mass, and as a result, aesthetics sometimes took a back seat to sheer size. Charles, however, stayed true to his principles of symmetry and aesthetics. While he didn't have the same level of mass as some of his competitors, he focused on maintaining a balanced, well-proportioned physique. His conditioning was always top-notch, and he often placed higher than larger competitors because of his overall package. Despite the challenges of competing in an era where size often overshadowed aesthetics, Charles remained competitive. His ability to consistently place well in competitions, even against much larger athletes, was a testament to his skill, dedication, and understanding of bodybuilding. One of the most impressive aspects of Darrem Charles's career is his longevity. While many bodybuilders have relatively short careers due to the physical toll the sport takes on the body, Charles managed to compete at a high level for over 2 decades. His ability to maintain his physique and conditioning well into his 40s is a testament to his discipline and understanding of bodybuilding science. Charles continued to compete professionally well into his 40s, long after many of his contemporaries had retired. His longevity in the sport is a testament to his ability to adapt, stay disciplined with his training and nutrition, and avoid the injuries that often plague bodybuilders as they age. As the bodybuilding world evolved, so did Darrem Charles. With the introduction of the classic physique division in the IFBB, which placed a greater emphasis on aesthetics and symmetry, Charles found a new avenue to compete in a category that aligned with his strengths. The classic physique division is designed to bring back the aesthetic ideals of the golden era of bodybuilding, which matched Charles' physique perfectly. In 2016, Charles transitioned to competing in the classic physique division, where he found renewed success. His classic lines, narrow waist, and aesthetic proportions were well suited to the division, and he continued to impress both fans and judges with his posing routines and overall package. Throughout his career, Darrem Charles has been known not only for his achievements on stage, but also for his humility, professionalism, and dedication to the sport of bodybuilding. He has inspired countless young athletes with his work ethic, discipline, and commitment to the craft.